One of the most hot and cold teams in the previous couple of seasons is definitely McLaren. The Woking-based squad went from finishing P3 in 2020, regularly beating Ferrari and taking up to Red Bull and Mercedes, to being P5 in 2022, losing to Alpine in a battle that was taken up to the last race on the grid. Still, the hopes for 2023 are very high, and it seems like McLaren is ready to take things to a whole new level and be much more competitive in the period that's to come. And that's been proven by Lewis Hamilton as well, who has a lot of hope for his former team. McLaren is entering the season with lots of changes, with the most obvious ones being in the positions of starting driver and team principal. After the departure of Andreas Seidl, many thought that the team has turned into a sinking ship, going to the extent of relating Norris to an exit out of the team as well. However, Andrea Stella, the successor of Seidl, has a lot of hope invested in him by Brown, and with the arrival of Oscar Piastri, a young rookie that is eager to prove himself, McLaren could make a huge boom in 2023. Now, keep in mind that this is the team that was able to obtain a podium outside of the top 3 performing teams in 2022, and it's been the only team to do so in the whole season. Norris's P3 finish in Imola was a very fascinating one, and although the young Brit wasn't really satisfied with just one podium finish out of all the races on the calendar, it's still a huge boost for the morale of the squad. And Brown believes that the team can build on this podium in Imola and create a winning environment for the team, something that would be more than appreciated by both of the drivers. Brown is really confident that the team will showcase strength in depth to help in their 2023 transition, with Piastri replacing Ricciardo and Stella replacing Seidl. After all, Stella is one of the most experienced personnel in the sport, with more than 15 years of experience, and Zak Brown is very happy to have him as a team principal moving forward with the team. When talking about Stella and his capabilities, Brown added, "I'm delighted that Andrea Stella will step into the team principal role and lead our F1 technical and operational program. Andrea is a highly talented, experienced and respected member of our team with a strong track record of leadership and success in Formula 1. His move into this role is a great example of the strength and depth we have in our team, and I'm excited to be working more closely with him, with a joint focus on moving up the grid and winning races." However, McLaren will face lots of obstacles in the upcoming season, one of which is getting the car back on track. Obviously, the MCL 36 presented itself with a variety of problems, with brake overheating being one of them. While they managed to fix this issue really quickly heading into the season, it was evident that Alpine had a better package compared to McLaren, and that the French team would be the team to beat as the season progressed. Obviously, McLaren failed in this task, but that doesn't mean they're going to give up on the 2023 dream to be not just the best of the rest, but fight for race wins and podiums as well. To top this off, the team heads into the new season with a new wind tunnel and development facilities, which are due to come online halfway through 2023. While the first benefits of this car will be seen in 2024, it's still something that the team is looking forward to and proof that they're progressing in life, with the potential to score some great results in the upcoming season. Hamilton also spoke about McLaren's chances in 2023, and when speaking about the Woking-based squad, he said that the team will have a major boost in 2023 and will be very competitive from the first race on. Why can't McLaren be there? We'll see. Or even Alpine's been doing amazing, so we'll see. Zak Brown is very happy that McLaren was able to secure the signature of Oscar Piastri, the young Aussie who's supposed to shock the world with his performance. Obviously, the saga ended in favour of McLaren, and while Alpine were really bitter to lose a driver like Piastri, they're finally ready to move on with their lives and focus on new things with Ocon and Gasly. Brown believes that Piastri will be right there with Norris, and although he said that Norris is one of the fastest drivers out there, Piastri can definitely perform at the same level as the young Brit, and that's for sure. I think Lando is one of the fastest drivers on the grid, and I expect he and Oscar to be close. I expect Oscar to have some opportunities to beat him and vice versa, and that's obviously what you want, two drivers that are right next to each other and reversing the order. I think in race winning equipment, Lando would be winning races. I think probably everyone would agree with that. So Oscar is going to have a teammate that's one of the fastest drivers in the world, but I fully expect Oscar in time to challenge. Now, what gives Brown a lot of hope is the fact that he trusts his engineers and his teams to build a championship winning car from 2025 onward. But until then, the team is definitely not going to sit back and just battle for P7, like Norris said earlier in this season. Also, Norris would definitely have to step up his game now that he has a young Piastri challenging him for the #1 spot in the team, and that's something that will likely force Norris to make mistakes even more often. Nonetheless, McLaren's competitiveness will rise in 2023, and with Gasly still learning how the Alpine car works, it's possible that McLaren will be far ahead of Alpine. In 2022, it was evident that Alpine had the better package, but in terms of talent and raw speed, Norris was nowhere to be caught. On top of that, they have Piastri now, and with how talented the youngster is, rest assured that McLaren will be a real threat on the grid. Brown has spoken further about the expectations that he and McLaren have for the next season, and when talking about this matter, the team boss said, "We've got the budget, we had a really good driver lineup, but obviously we had challenges with Daniel, but Lando wrings the neck out of our car. We don't have the technology infrastructure yet, but our simulator and wind tunnel come online in 2023. We're planning on challenging and being in the mix of the top 3 when we have all of our equipment. That's certainly our ambition. Our race team is operating extremely well, and we know some of the deficit we have the pace of our car comes from not being at the top of our game with our technology infrastructure, which is fortunately around the corner." Well, with that being said, the plans at McLaren are surely huge for next season, but apart from the pressure being the highest on Stella because he would have to prove himself as a leader, young rookie Piastri is definitely feeling some of the buzz that goes around his name. Not only will he feel the pressure to perform as a rookie, but also have to prove to the world why he's declined the secured seat in the Alpine and went for McLaren's seat instead. However, he feels more confident than ever, as he was full of praise for having Norris as a teammate that he can learn a lot from. Furthermore, he spoke about the relationship that he and Lando have developed in 2023, as the team is looking forward to making a huge recovery after the disastrous 2022 season, with a young Aussie adding, "I don't know Lando that well, I've spoken to him a couple of times very briefly and we've got a few mutual friends in common, but yes, I'm looking forward to getting to know him both personally and professionally. I think our junior careers have been quite similar. He's obviously proven as well in F1 that he's a very capable driver and a strong driver as well." Piastri is full of confidence, and Brown said that he'll likely challenge Norris from the go-to. However, he doesn't expect that friction will be present like it was back in 2007 between Alonso and Hamilton. Ron Dennis was the leader of the team back then, and while many are calling for him to return and lead the team to championships again, Brown is definitely more than capable of leading McLaren to strong results from 2023 onward. With that being said, what are your expectations for McLaren from 2023 onwards? Do you think that they'll have strong results with a new driver pairing and with all the things that have happened in the past season? Let us know in the comments down below.